giant called progress and annual success. My father was a bracero. I am Joaquin, and though the struggle is hard, I know that my spirit is strong.
Getting into politics, getting more involved in the community, get more, aware how we're being oppressed, and getting away from the gang banging. And it gave an awareness. It gave us another awareness to change. And out of that conference, we come back to Chicago, and things started to change. My question now is, why only 2 youth conferences? What happened? Why didn't it continue? And now what happens last year, I think it was last year, the Raza Unida party says, oh, ya no somos Raza Unida. We're now U.S. Somos or something, like Unidos.
No, that's not Raza Unida party you're talking about.
I mean, National Council of La Raza. National Council of La Raza changes their names.
Right.
So my question now is that where are we going then? What legacy did the Crusade for Justice have now?
What is their lasting?
Yeah, what is their lasting? And
yeah, and like you said, with the National Council of La Raza, with its new name, or with LULAC, I don't see them making any public statements against the treatment of children.
LULAC,
Or yeah, I don't see them.
I agree.
They're not in the news denouncing Bush and denouncing the Justice Department for the treatment and separation of families and kids. Where are they? Do they consider themselves leaders of the Latino community? I mean, that's a good question. But Ray wanted to say something.
I wanted to say close I knew Art Vasquez.
Yes.
I knew Art for a long time.
He was the first director of Casa Islam, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. In 1969.
Mm-hmm.
I had an opportunity to know him, and he said a lot of things at that time, which I did not quite grasp. I didn't quite, get it, and it took me a long time. Unfortunately, he passed away, and anyhow, I never really got to know to ask him about one question that always stuck out in my mind. Well, a statement actually. He said, Art had a lot of distractors, to put it mildly. A lot of people that didn't like him. There were a lot of people who did, but the majority of people didn't like him. They didn't like, quote, his politics. He's kind of lopsided, but very radical, for me at least it was. And Art said one time, we were having coffee at one of these restaurants, and we had this long discussion on politics and so forth. And you know what he said? And it's still in my head. Art said, he says, Ray, he says, the corporation, the corporation is a military model. Corporations run like the military. And it took me a long time to understand that, And, over the years, I did a lot of reading and so forth. And, and when I was teaching Latino youth, it hit me, because these students that I was teaching, they were all young. They were like 17, 18 years old. But they were keen. They were smart kids. They just didn't have the formal education, They were gangbangers and everything, anyhow, I used to talk about that. And there was this one student, I really felt bad because he was killed, you know. Anyhow, he asked me, he says, hey, Ray, what do you mean by, you know, the corporations really being a military model? So I kind of you know, broke it down, you know. And then it still didn't make sense. So many years later, when I said, like I said, well, I was starting reading more and more. That's one thing I wanted to say. And another thing, when I was in South Dakota, I met a lot of chiefs, Lakota. You know. I met a lot of Navajos, Ojibways, Nominees, okay, Cheyennes, okay, Pueblos. I had that opportunity, okay. And this one elder, he was Lakota, and he said, we were talking about, you know, what we're talking about now, this issue of identity. And he said to me, and that was something that stuck in my mind, and I started using it in my class. He said, you know, he says, white people got identity all wrong. And I said, well, what do you mean? And he said, our identity comes from the land. The land gives us our identity. It's not the ceremonies. It's not the prayers. It is the land. It is the land that feeds us. Okay, it is the land, it is the land of our mother.
The womb.
Exactly. And he said, that's our identity. And that's why it took me a long time also to understand the struggle, okay, of the Indians, okay, particularly the ones in the Southwest, you know, and also in the plains as well. Because I did a lot of traveling, you know, when I was, you know, when I was involved with, you know, with a lot of skin brothers, as they call each other, you know.
Ray, can I add something?
Yeah.
More in terms of Native Americans. I think one other issue that's very, it's not just important, but it's vital to the identity and cultural survival of Native Americans is language.
Yes.
I mean, among some groups, there aren't too many native speakers of whatever language it is.
Yes.
And sometimes I had a conversation with a couple of Native Americans, and they said, you guys are millions and millions of people in numbers, and you guys have a second language, or your native language, Spanish. It's not a native language, like, you know, Apache or something else, but it's your language you brought here to the United States with you. How come you're letting your language disappear? How come you don't teach your kids, the new generation, Spanish? So you have millions and millions of kids all over the United States, and lots of them don't speak the language. Their parents don't teach them Spanish. So you can have an opportunity to change this country through the school system, instituting bilingual education, where you speak both languages, fluently and fluently. And I said, yeah, you're right. You know, sometimes we have something that we are slowly but surely giving up, and that's the language.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a shame that in some cases our kids or our grandkids go to school, and go to high school or go to college, and learn Spanish from a non-Latino, from a white teacher. I mean, I have nothing against white teacher or black teachers teaching Spanish, but how many of these Spanish teachers are Latino? You know, I mean, you go to the University of Illinois, how many of them are Latinos? I mean, it's
by
interesting.
design.
You know,
It's not in the budget.
the thing is, you know, what is our language? Is our language Spanish?
Because, you know, we're forgetting something, you know, here
Oh,
in this
well,
community,
we're not
they're
gonna-
teaching Nahuatl, okay? There is, and you know what I'm talking about, I know, but you know, that's another thing, maybe we need to be trilingual. You know, as a bilingual teacher, you know, that I was, I found out that, for example, the guys in Luxembourg, they speak 3 languages. They taught, you know, learn, as an adult, they speak the 3 languages very good, okay? Now you got the guys from India, you know, guys from India, none of those guys from India don't speak, you know, 3 languages, okay? But here, you know, is you know, it's instilling us to not speak but 1 language. I go on, you know, to houses, you know, why do you use it like English only? I said, whoa, you know, I don't belong here, you know? So that's,
I have to tell my truth.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jesus Negrete is, he needs to do his thing before we go. He's been signaling me.
okay.
I
So-
think all of us have
After he does his thing, we go, or can I say
throw our
something before we go?
pieces in. I think
Yes,
that
sir.
what, things that we remember about Corky are like, Ray, and you know, Ray awakened me to Art Vasquez, he was our first Chicano studies professor.
Right.
And, you know, and so he would say things that were, you know, we just didn't read enough then, you know, we only had bachelor's degrees. I think that going away to grad school myself and being with these real heavy Marxist scholars, right? You know, and that's I mentioned last time. That's how I ran into the writings of Ruiz, because he had that book on capitalism, and that's how I read instead of reading Des Capital, which is like, ay, wait. But you know, Corky's writings, and if you go on YouTube, right, you push the speeches of Rodolfo Corky Gonzales. The one at UCLA, which is in Spanish, it begins in Spanish. Está muy buena, you know, lo recomiendo. Luego habla pero por como 15 minutos habló en puro español. Y in my radio program, those are the speeches that I put on the air. So, you know, I keep alive it. But YouTube has all the speeches of Reyes and, you know, Reyes speeches and other
Dice muchas groserías, right?
yeah, and speeches of
Enlightening.
Puerto Rican brothers, you know, really profound things, you know. So what we're looking at here is we need to understand the intellectual history of our people, the intellectual history. And that's why we gather and we discuss these intellectuals, right? Corky, you know, in a sense, was an intellectual, not necessarily book learning,
No,
but he read a lot.
intellectual.
You know, his daughter, when he died, he said, you know, my dad would read, he would read and read and read and read, you know? You know, and he would just read and everything, you know? And so I just wanted to end with a little, because what he says is nationalism is a tool for organization, not a weapon for hatred. Another thing is that the first thing he said is the plan of Aslan is that we have to nationalize everything that comes into our barrio. We have to control the businesses. We have to control the schools. We got to nationalize everything that comes into the barrio, you know. And, you know, I don't think that we listen to the plan of Aslan because of a lot of factors, like I said, infiltrators, but that's what he said, you know. You gotta, and you look at the people in other countries, that's the first thing they did, right? In Cuba, they nationalized the oil, they nationalized the banks, they nationalized, right? All over, you know.
That's what happened in Bolivia recently.
Bolivia, and so if we look at the plan of Aslan, take it apart slowly, you know, and understand that thing about nationalism. Also is that to give it another, because of Corky's poem, it was the way to understand our historical identity. And he says it very profoundly, you know, and after 20 years, you know, they were saying, well, are we still lost in a world of confusion?
Should that be taught in the bilingual classroom?
Are we still lost in a world of confusion?
Assimilation?
Are we still, you know, are we still, because in the end he says, you know,
Yeah.
I have lived, well, let me do it.
Go ahead,
Because my time is very valuable, everybody's time is valuable, you know, come here, you know. Our community has too many problems. I mean, you know, every community has problems, but, you know, I like to see more concrete goals, you know. Here's what I want to suggest. Here you have, you know, all these leaders here. You have a lot of, you know, history. This gentleman here has, you know, education, has a good education as far as organization, and I want to take advantage of it. He's listening. I was watching this leader, independent leader in Mexico, okay, that he has a group, a central group, and he goes all over the country, and he, you know, starts sales, you know, you take 3 people, 4 people, okay, you start there, and then from there you grow. These are going to be your goals.
Capítulo que hay aquí. Vamos a sacar copia a esto para mandárselas a ustedes y luego discutimos aquí cuáles son los siguientes pasos que debemos de dar. What's next? I mean, yeah, it's fine to pay homage to Corky, to Tijerina, to Cesar Chavez. The only one living, of course, is the one who founded the Partido Raza Unida Party, right? He's the only one around. But and see what's next. What is next and what is feasible? What is feasible? ¿Qué es factible? ¿Qué es lo que podemos hacer? Because we can dream big, but you know, if we can't handle it.
The problem we have everywhere is that you know, when the community grows, and when it starts having, you know, numbers, and they divide us.
Yeah,
you know,
right.
How they call this?
Divide and conquer.
Huh?
Divide and conquer?
No, the map, you know, when you fix the map.
Oh, okay.
Gerrymandering.
Gerrymandering.
Okay. This is happening in California right now. You know, they wanted the split California in 3. Okay, it's going to delete our...
Vamos a dejarlo para la próxima reunión, ¿sí? Para que Chuy...
Who is our friend and who ran Rasmi. He's the only Rasmi party candidate we ran. Angel Moreno.
Angel Moreno. Okay.
Are there any Rasmus party men that they have a political position at this time in Washington or maybe local, you know, in California?
Only in Texas.
Only in Texas. Okay.
And Arizona has Raza Unida Party visible. Anyways,
Okay.
what does Corky tell us, you know? First he tells us who we are, right? He says, I have lived in the rugged mountains of my country. I have survived the toils and the slavery of the fields. I have lived in the suburbs of bigotry, in the mines of social snobbery, in the prisons of dejection, in the muck of exploitation. But yet, I am still here. I have lived and I have endured. My fathers, they came a long way. They came a long way to nowhere. And they came unwillingly dragged by that monstrous, that technical giant called progress and annual success. My father was a bracero. I am Joaquin, and though the struggle is hard, I know that my spirit is strong, because I am an Aztec warrior, and I am a Christian Christ, and an nombre del Padre, del Hijo y del Espíritu Santo. Madre María, ruega por nosotros, ahora y en la hora de nuestra muerte. Amen. I am in the eyes of woman. I am in the eyes of woman, sheltered beneath the shawl of black, the deep and sorrowful pain, the pain of sons long buried, dying on the battlefield, or on the barbed wires of social strife. And I still work endlessly, like the family that works down the fields of sugar beets, to turn around and work and work and work and work. There is no end. And I am her and she is me, and I face life together in sorrow and sadness, but in hope. I am Joaquin, and now I must choose. I must choose between the paradox of victory of my spirit, or to exist in the grasp of American social neurosis, a destruction of my spirit. I am Joaquin, and though the struggle is hard, my spirit is strong. I have been here, and I shall endure. I am Joaquin. I will endure, and I shall endure. Pashanin kabinan, spada wili, nan giti feo ni milana yi, nagitu bilashido, nesha shaya nanyali. Nesha shaya nanyali.